So speaking about Kawhi and Toronto, let's move on to another story that popped up with Canada in the news. Let's talk about the Rays working with the MLB to be a two-city team. So for those of you who don't know,
that's just Tampa's fault.
The Tampa Bay Rays have received permission from the MLB to explore playing their home games in two different cities. The first half of the season, or however many games, at the Trop in St. Pete, and the second half in Montreal, where the Expos played. What do you guys think of that? I mean, we're all from the Tampa area. We go to Rays games. What do you guys think about that?
Okay, I'm just going to get this out real quick because I know there's someone in here that has a very much better opinion than me on this. But this is partially due on the owner. This is partially due on the stadium. And this is partially due on the fans. Trop sucks.
It has a lot to do with the city.
No, the Trop sucks. The Tropicana Field is an awful stadium to go to. But the fan, obviously the owner, he's made it very clear he doesn't know what he really wants to do. I want to keep him in Tampa, but I'm not sure if I want to keep him in Tampa. This is an awful idea. It's not going to work.
But here's the thing about Tampa.
And the fans don't show up to the games.
Here's the thing. Well, where it is, Ben kind of said it where the stadium is. I mean, that part of St. Pete was a little iffy for a while. It's not as bad now.
It's getting back to being iffy.
The thing, the lease ends at the Trop in what, 2027?
Yeah.
So what, 8 more seasons? And how many times have they put forward a stadium to be built closer to Ybor, or a brand new stadium, and it gets turned down by the city? There's no support.
3 or 4.
How many times have we walked into the Trop, and there was the designs for the new stadium?
Yep. And
that stadium just it never happens.
Nope.
That's why I think
every time.
I think that. This is the news that they're exploring being a two-city team. I think the Rays are just gone.
Yeah.
I think maybe they build that other stadium and
I
they
say
do
they're gone in
two-city
3 years.
till the contract ends. But I think they're just gone. They're going to Canada.
I say they're gone in 3 years.
I don't think they're gone.
Yeah, I think they're gone. This city doesn't care.
This city doesn't care about baseball. This city doesn't care about.
How can you care about baseball when your team is always
because
bad?
You have hockey. You have hockey here.
No. Listen, when the Bucks are good, the Bucks sell out. All right, the Bucks just aren't good.
Yeah, but losing his franchise in NFL history.
But when the Bucks are good, the Bucks sell out. If the Rays were good, the Rays are good this year.
They were good.
They are good this year.
They still are. But they're not selling out.
They're not selling out because this is happening. Why would you want to go see a team that might move? No one wants to go see a team that might move. That was a huge mistake. They're in the middle of a winning season, and you announced that. That is the worst timing. You want to talk about terrible timing?
Because even when they were going to the year they went to the World Series, the only time the Trop sold out was the playoffs.
Yeah,
and not even all of the playoffs.
Completely sold out.
I don't think it was sold out
ring being
the later rounds in the World Series.
I mean,
I think they got to the ALCS and they were selling out.
During the ALCS is when they were selling out.
When they were playing the Red Sox, they were selling out.
But the only reason why they were selling out is because Boston fans were flying down, buying tickets for the Trop because it's cheaper.
It was $69 for Southwest to fly from Boston to Tampa, and then it was another $75 cheaper to get a playoff ticket.
Yeah,
I think I gotta get some off.
Yeah,
I completely agree with your point. So, I wholeheartly blame this on ownership. Ownership for their entirety of their existence. I don't remember the first owner's name. It was Vince something. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Real quick.
But
keep going.
He was a terrible owner, and then sold the team to Stu Sternberg, who is supposed to lead us into this rebuilding and everything, and was committed to the Trop at the time and putting money into it to make it not terrible, which I do give him credit. He did put money into the team. However, you cannot, over the past 5 seasons or so, you cannot say what you have said and not piss off the Tampa Bay area. It is unbelievable. What he has done, threatening to move the team. Why would that be your first option, to threaten to move? Like a franchise that has not had the success and has not won over the city. Like, why would you threaten to move? Like,
There's a reason why.
if you want the city to pay for it, like, you don't do that. And especially after what happened in Miami with the Marlins, the state of Florida and the city of Tampa or St. Pete, nobody in the state is going to allow that to happen again.
Yeah.
Like, with the perennial sucking. Oh, build me a new stadium and we're going to win. No, that's absolutely not going to happen. And it frustrates the heck out of me because they are a franchise that I grew up watching. But I'm done. Like, I am putting in my player option and I am saying I am done.
Hey,
I am going out into free agency. I am going to find a new baseball team, whether they're successful, whether they're closer to me, what.
The 7-line Army is taking applications. You can be a Mets fan whenever you like.
I am taking all offers on the table. If anybody wants to send me free swag, hit me up. But Tampa has done nothing in the past 5 seasons. I honestly stopped watching in college because with college and time and everything, you just had less time. But B, what were they doing that would want me to watch?
I haven't.
They were doing nothing.
I can tell you what they did to try and boost up, everybody coming in and trying to be more family-friendly stadium. They put in a Stingray tank, and that was their big thing for 2.5 years.
That's been there.
Yeah, that's been there for a while.
A long time.
No, but that's what I mean, though. But that's the last. That's the last big upgrade, you could say, that they've done to the stadium.
They've done giveaways, they've done concerts, they've done the experiences.
But I mean like actual, like, the stadium structure itself.
The stadium itself is garbage. The stadium is one of the biggest issues. No one wants to drive to St. Pete to go watch a Rays game. I mean, the traffic's awful.
But I don't want to drive to Tampa for a Bucks game or a Lightning game. But because I care for the Lightning enough that I'm even willing to go to a Lightning frickin' Orlando. And I-4 is a terrible road.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You don't have to remind me. You don't have to remind me.
It's one of the most deadliest roads in America.
And I will gladly drive that to go watch a Bolts game because not only has the owner time, he's put in his own money, not only in the stadium and the team, but also the community. What he's doing with giving away $50,000 a game to different charities is amazing. And he's creating an experience for fans that is unlike any other. He is winning over people because of the money he's putting in. Thus, he's getting a heck of a lot more money out of it. And I'm sure whenever the Lightning want to build a new arena, like not for a couple, like 10, 20 more seasons, hopefully, he's going to get it and he's going to get it done. But nobody's going to be willing to put in money for a stadium for an owner that has done absolutely nothing for the community, the team.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit for the stadium, but like,
I think that baseball is just it's just fading out, and these stadiums are just way too big for their own.
Well, a lot of the baseball thing is baseball is making more money than ever, but a lot of that just because people watch it. Like, you watch it on TV.
Yeah, just
every Rays game is on.
Yeah,
you turn on the TV and you go to what's the channel?
Sun Sports.
Sun Sports. And there you go. You have the Rays games. You have the Marlins games. You get to watch the game. So why would I pay? Why would I drive an hour to go to a Rays game? Why would I pay $20 for parking? Why would I pay $40 for food when I'm at the game when I can just watch it online on my couch?
That again plays into my like. Why would people want to go to a Yankee game? Why would people want to go to a Phillies game? Why would people want to go? Like, it's the experience. It's the team. It's you want to see it in person and say that you've been there. Like, Tampa in early May was in first place, yet they had one of the worst attended games in all of the Rays history, and they were in first place.
Yeah.
Now you could look at a team like Tampa. You could look at a team like Seattle. Seattle is also having a terrible season. Terrible. And nobody's going to those games. But Tampa's at least fighting for first and fighting for the wild card. Like,
Yeah.
I will gladly let Montreal have this disaster of a franchise. Gladly. And I will not want to care. Like, I don't care anymore. I will pick a new team. I've had 20 years of disappointment. I've had 20 years of being in a glass case of an emotion, mostly just being depressed. Because I was such a diehard baseball and Rays fan, and I just don't even care anymore.
Yeah, no, the owner doesn't care, and he's proved he doesn't care. And I wanted to share a story real quick, because this is how much the Rays have this is how it makes us feel watching them. Ben, Kevin, and I went to a game last year, and they were losing. They were losing the whole game. It was awful.
Oh, yeah.
You sit in the trop, and the trop is so depressing. It's such a depressing area.
It's dark. It dims the light.
They dim the lights. It's so awful, and you're just like, this doesn't feel this doesn't just not feel like a baseball game. It doesn't feel like a sporting event. We go see the St. Lucie Mets.
Yeah, Port
and
St.
it
Lucie.
feels more like an actual baseball game than any Rays game I've ever been to. But the Rays game we went to, we were losing the whole game, and we go, you know what, we can't take it anymore. We're like, we're gonna beat traffic. We're not dealing with traffic. We're going home. As we went home, they hit the Rays hit a grand slam
grand
slam home run
to win the game, and it's like, oh, we could have been there to see it, and it's like, do we really care?
Yeah, we didn't care.
Do we really care? Like, it doesn't matter. The Rays, they've repeatedly proven time and time again, like, the city does not support them. The stadium's in a terrible location, and the owner really is awful. Like, you went into plenty of reasons why. It just doesn't matter. If they go to Montreal, so be it. I mean, I don't want to lose the Tampa team. They're Tampa. I don't want Tampa to go. But if we lose them, I mean, it's not like if the Bucks left, I'd be crying. Like, if the Buccaneers or the Lightning left, I'd be in tears. I'd be picketing. I'd be protesting. If the Rays left, it's like, makes sense considering everything that's happened for the last, I don't know, 20-something years.
All right. Now, if I may, let me pose a question. So, yeah, we already know everything that the owner's done, and it hasn't been kind to the city and everything that's been said and all the threats. But how much of it is an environmental factor? So let me explain that a little bit. How much of it is people retire to Florida? My family comes from New York.
Well,
the only reason we're Rays fans is because we live next to the team, so we'll go to Rays games every once in a while. But my family's, we're all Mets fans.
Yeah.
The only time we go to Rays games as a family is when the Mets are in town.
Yeah.
And the Mets are coming to the city. And how much of that impacts the Rays? Is that no one's really a fan of the Rays or an expansion team?
Before we answer this question, I got a question that goes off this, Kevin.
No.
It's just thinking about it, and you were saying it. Are the Rays just in the bad location because of all the spring training around us?
Well, that was going to be part of my question too. The entire state of Florida has spring training everywhere, and when spring training games are in town, and we live where we were living in the 727, we had the Blue Jays and the Phillies.
Yeah.
And anytime you went to those spring training games,
and then you had Yankees
packed. Yeah, we had Yankees. It's packed. And we always did our annual trip to Port St. Lucie because, again, I'm a Mets fan. So, those games were packed.
Yeah.
Does the spring training hurt?
I don't really think so. I don't think so because you look. So, that was an older generation of Florida where you think about the state of Florida, you think about retirees, everybody moving down here because of taxes, what have you. There's a whole new generation of actual Floridians that are born here, that are raised here, that you just think about top 25 cities in America, and a lot of them are from Florida. You think about Orlando, Miami, Tampa, and Jacksonville. There are 4 cities right there. And that's a whole new generation of fans that you can cultivate and really make you fall in love with their team. Look at the Lightning. When I was in middle school, the Lightning were terrible. And with this new owner and giving back to the community and actually making a presence,
No, they were.
It made a whole new experience.
They won
But
a-
with the
they
Rays,
won a
they
championship
They
in
won a
New York
Stanley
in
Cup
middle
when I
school.
was a kid.
yeah,
so slow
absolutely.
your roll.
But there's no effort. There's no effort put in by the Rays. And I remember watching the World Series. I remember watching the Stanley Cups and the Super Bowls for the Bucks. Or the Super Bowl for the Bucks.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
But
Let's not get carried away.
I mean, those were exciting times, and those are memories that the Rays, they have at least the Lightning have added on to memory, experiences. The Rays just haven't.
yeah.
And I also think that the Trop itself, they need to do something with the actual stadium to either get rid of the roof, make it a retractable roof, make it more presentable than just it's a baseball stadium.
Nah, I think the stadium's a lost cause at this point.
I think the
Yeah.
Trop,
No, but-
if they were going to
but
stay in
it's a
Tampa,
lost
you need to tear
cause.
the Trop down.
But you
and
can
then
also
build
do
something
something
that's a lot
about it.
prettier than the Trop, somewhere in the actual Tampa area. I mean, they
For
would
a long
benefit just by
time.
putting a stadium closer to Ray J. I mean,
Maybe.
if they
People
people go to Bucks games, people will go to Rays game if it's closer to the Ray J. I mean, but I don't think it's going to happen anyway because I think they're gone. I honestly do think they're gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
think they're gone.
I
That's
mean,
how
I think
started
the
this
owners made it
conversation.
clear.
That's what
The
I
owners
think
made
is
it
gonna
clear.
happen.
I don't think it's anything to do either though with snowbirds coming down here. And
snowbirds are
they
snowbirds,
have their
but-
team. Well, no, but the whole conversation was there's a bunch of people
Well,
that
people
came from
move.
up north
People move here.
and came to Florida.
Ben's a Phillies fan.
Yeah, you're
Ben's
a Mets,
family's
you're
from
a
there. My
Mets
whole
fan.
family's a Mets.
He's a
we're
Phillies
Mets
fan, but Jake hit it on the nail. We're 25 years old, 24, 26. We grew up with the Rays. This has been our team. The Bucks, the Rays, the Lightning, they have always been my teams. The only one that I don't care about is the Rays. So, and it's not.
I just don't think
listen, the
Florida
Bucks
is
are the worst franchise in NFL history, and they've won a Super Bowl.
The most losingest franchise in NFL history.
They are the worst franchise.
They're pretty-
Statistically speaking, they are awful, but they still have a Super Bowl. I have that little banner over those Lions fans.
Well,
that
I
watch
mean-
this
I don't know.
podcast.
I'm pretty,
the Super Bowl
I'm pretty
video
close to
every
getting
year.
rid of them too.
No, you're not allowed to get rid of them. We have to suffer together for them, okay? You have to suffer through the Bucks together, all right?
It's all right, go Giants.
No.
Our parents suffered through the Bucks. We have to suffer through the Bucks. They suffered through cream.
I don't know.
suckers.
My dad's a Detroit Lions and a Detroit Tigers fan,
You
so
sure you want
I
to be
could
a
always
Lions fan? Are you sure you want to be a Lions fan? They've never even made it to the Super Bowl, so the Bucks already have that over them. So,
this is a baseball.
But
topic.
at least,
baseball talk.
yeah.
You guys have any more to say on the Rays being a two-city team?
it would
I-
suck if they left, but I get it.
I think it
I'm
would be,
ex-
I would like
think
to say it would be kind of cool just to see it happen.
What, the two of them?
Yeah.
Like,
Just to be a
split
two-city
between the two
team,
teams?
just to
How
just to
would-
like
No. Okay. Hey,
just
I
to
have
be
a
like
question.
I was around when that happened,
I have a quick
and that
question.
affected me.
I have a
Like you get to
Oh,
tell that to your
God.
Where would they
grandkids.
play playoff games?
That
What if they
it's
made
a
the
great question.
playoffs?
No,
What if you
Would they
do
play
like
them in
half-
Tampa?
Would you
Would
do
they
half
play
the
them in
series in
Montreal?
Tampa
No, they
and you
play
go
them in
to, like, games
Montreal.
5, 6, 7?
They have to. They're
Here's
doing a
what
second
I-
half team in Montreal. They have to play their.
Here's what
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
they're-
figured.
I
That's
think
gross.
they're doing.
And how does that
It-
affect season ticket holders? Like,
Now you get free tickets.
Oh
to
no,
Montreal
they're
games,
selling
so you
half
go.
seasons.
is that what it is?
Everything's half seasons.
they're
It has
half
to be.
seasons. Yeah.
That's what.
Because
So that's what I
what I
want to
think-
see. I just
what
want. I
I
want it to
think they're
happen
gonna
just for that.
do-
Just for the craziness that would ensue and the insanity and being able to tell this story to my grandkids. Just like
The
going to the
internet is
Overwatch
around
League
at a
finals
perfect
and
time.
seeing that performance by
only
DJ
way-
Khaled, that terrible, awful performance.
God.
But you
That
can
was-
say it for forever.
that
But
was
I
so
was
bad.
there and
No,
it was incredible.
But here's the only way I think this could work. And I mean this with like a grain of salt. This is the only way I could see this working. Games are in Montreal when it's stupid hot here in Florida. Games are
summer.
in
Yeah, this-
Florida when
But they have a retractable dome.
No, so they're not going to build a dome in Montreal. That's why.
No,
I
but they
heard,
already
right?
they already
They're,
have
they're,
it.
they're
The
using the old
Olympic
one.
Stadium.
They already have it.
the-
They don't want to make it a
Yeah.
dome. Period. Right?
No, but that's what I mean. Like, you're gonna get, because Florida's all about their snowbirds. You're gonna get the people that live in Montreal during the summer,
Well,
and
that's
then
kind
when
of a
they're
fair
down
point.
here, and
I
then when
don't know
they're
how
down
many
here,
that'd be though.
the team will be here during December,
I mean-
the cold months, and everybody from Montreal.
But you got to remember, baseball starts in
If you want,
in
if
like
you want
April,
No.
May. By that time,
I know.
snowbirds are already going back up north.
I mean, if you want,
Yeah,
And
but
when
that's
it
what I
gets
mean.
cold, when it
That's
gets
when
cold,
they're-
October is the
when-
playoffs.
yeah.
That's when it's cold. And that's when it'll be cold
So
in Canada.
basically,
You're not,
it would be, the first half of the season and a little bit after All-Star game, and then you switch. That's the only way
Oh, yeah,
I see this actually working.
that's the way they discussed it. You start half the season in Tampa, and then you probably around the All-Star game, which is coming up. Around this time, you head back.
that is
north.
one of the stupidest ideas I've ever heard of in my life.
I just want to
They
see that.
should do it. Keep the
It,
team.
it
Either
is,
move
but
the
it
team-
isn't at the same time.
Either move the team to Montreal and call it a day, or say, hey, we're going to build a new stadium in Tampa instead of St. Pete.
But what-
and they're
so what do they
actually
get
going to be
called?
the Tampa Bay Rays.
Here's something
They keep
weird.
them here. So don't.
Are they the
don't
Tampa
split-
Bay Rays,
Yeah.
or are they like?
They're-
Well, what do they get called? Are they just the
I
Rays?
The
think they're-
Montreal, if they go to Montreal,
Or
they're just
no,
gonna
but do
probably
they
be
start
the
half the
Rays.
season
What
the
if they
Tampa
just
Bay
wait-
Rays
wait,
and then the
what if
Montreal
they really
Rays?
play like that evil villain thing and they just literally go, hey, yeah, we're the Devil Rays again. But now this time they're actually like devils, like they have horns. Like I don't know, it's so stupid. It's honestly one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. Splitting. No team wins in that situation. That's awful for the team. That
It's
sets
awful for the players.
That
It's
sets
awful
the
for every-
franchise back how many
It's
years?
awful. It's
I
awful
mean-
all the way. But here's the thing: it's awful all the way around.
But it would
But
be
if they do
entertaining.
it, what
to
But I
watch.
want to watch it happen. I want to see it
But if
happen.
what happens if they do it and it works out?
It's not.
Then what?
That's the bad
No,
news.
No,
Ben.
if
No,
it
It's
does,
not gonna
if
work.
it does work out,
No,
then it,
no. But if it does, then
I don't-
what
I don't
happens
see-
with
I don't see
other
anyone else doing it.
teams? Other
I don't
sports.
see anyone else doing it.
And no one else will do it. I don't think it would happen. I mean, there's always been the rumor about
Or maybe
a Florida
maybe
team playing in
maybe the
London.
Raiders play half their season in Oakland and
No,
half their season in
I've heard
Vegas.
the rumor of
Maybe something like that.
Jacksonville or the Bucks or some team
Going to like England.
officially playing in London. I mean,
Yeah.
if they ever wanted to test that waters of a team,
They've done that.
But that's a long
No, but-
flight that you can't really do that often.
yeah.
The travel to a
Why,
different country would be a
you
little
just
bit weird.
you fly out of Tampa. They do it. They've done it
Yeah,
every
Ben,
year.
it's still hours
The
worth
Green
of
Bay
flights.
Packers-
Yeah,
the
but it's
Green Bay
different when
Packers are
half
playing
of the season.
No,
if
but
half of
Green
your
Bay
season
Packers.
is in London and the other half is in Tampa. I mean, we're talking about how many games are there in the baseball season? There's
162.
162. There's only 16
62,
games in
62,
football. Could you imagine you spend 4 games in Tampa, 4 games in London, and then 8 games
Traveling the rest of the
everywhere else?
US?
That would be
it's tough.
awful. The team would never win. So it's not. No, maybe baseball it might work just because there's so many games.
Half the time you're out on the road.
No,
anyway.
I'm not even thinking about like football. I'm thinking about more of like
What hockey and
basketball and soccer.
There's no basketball team that will do that. I can tell you right now. There's not a basketball team in the NBA that is going to split time with another city. It's not going to happen. They'll just move. The only city, by the way, that's comparable is Seattle. Seattle's the only city that serves a basketball team that doesn't have one right now.
You just get Vancouver and Seattle. Boom, one team right there.